Welcome to the Summer Connect series. What is up, Pathway kids? Welcome to the third Summer Connect series video. Today we were talking about the story of how God brought down the Jericho walls and how we can give our battles over to God. But first we have a quick game, so I'd like to introduce you to the Costin family. This is Mr. and Mrs. Costin, Anna, and Darren. And so for today's game, it's called Cupside-Up, Cupside-Down. So for this game, you would just need about 50 or so plastic cups. And so you'll split your family into two teams. One team will be cup side up, and they are going to try to place as many cups as they can facing up. The other team will be cup side down, and they will be trying to place as many cups as they can down. So you'll put like 1 minute on the clock, and you'll just be an all-out frisbee. You're trying to place as many. If you're the up team, trying to place as many as you can up. If you're the down team, you're trying to place as many as you can down. And then at the end, you count to see who has the most cups, and they are the winner. So you guys ready to play?
Yeah.
Yep. Let's go. We're cup side.
Oh. So the boys will be cup side up, and the girls will be cup side down.
Oh yeah, I can go down. That's pretty.
Go that
That's all
way.
right.
That's pretty easy.
No, you stay here. It's supposed to be staggered.
All right.
Wait a minute. We got go that way.
Yeah, spread out. Let me spread out. Let's see. I'm not going to tell you where to go, but Darren, you're perfect right there. Yeah.
Are you guys ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go.
What's going on down here?
What is going on? Use both hands, Darren. Use both hands, Darren.
Wait a minute now.
Ah. No cheating here. Ooh, we're almost there. Ah. Anna, can you pick up that cup for me? Thanks, baby. I gotcha.
Oh, we're still waiting.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, freeze.
Oh, man, we got crushed. How did that happen?
So we will count the score. Looks like cup side up.
Come on.
Upside down, right?
Hey, cup side up's only got about 10. Cup side down, it's got a lot more. So looks like cup side up is the winner in this game. Another option for a game while you have the cups out is you split back up into those two same teams, and you just try to build as big a tower as you can out of the cups. So we're just going for height here. So which method you want to try this way, you want to try to stack them. You just go all out for a minute and try to build the biggest tower that you can with your team. Does that sound good, guys?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, begin.
Thank you. This one. Then there. Wait, put it that way. Mom, can you do this one? Can you do this? I think we're gonna win.
Go slow.
Oh! Yes!
Keep going. Keep going. Let's just go straight. Yeah, there you go. Keep going. If there's falls,
That's as high as we
keep
can
going.
go.
Keep going. Keep going. Don't
Oh
the
my
table.
god.
My goodness.
Alright, it's time.
Oh my god!
Unfortunately, the ladies won this one.
Unfortunately.
So now, as you can see, they built a nice little tower. We will see a tower in today's story. So let's dive right into the story machine. Welcome to the story machine. Today, we will be talking about the story of Jericho walls, which is found in Joshua chapter 6. So if you remember from the last video, the Israelites are on their way to the Promised Land. They have just crossed across the Jordan River on dry ground when God parted the Jordan River from both sides of the river. And so now the last thing standing in the Israelites' way into getting into the Promised Land is the city of Jericho. And the city of Jericho is heavily, heavily guarded. It is surrounded by 4 tall, huge walls. It is heavily guarded. So this is the last obstacle that the Israelites have to face to make it into this Promised Land that God has promised for them. So, but remember that God will be with them. And so God commands Joshua. He says, I have handed Jericho over to you. I have handed its land over to you. This is what you are to do. So this is the instructions that God gives to Joshua. He says, march around the city once for all your fighting men and do that for 6 days. So God tells Joshua, who was in that green Lego suit, he tells them to march around the city once for 6 days. And so he had the Ark of the Covenant there. And they actually had 7 trumpets that was in front of the Ark of the Covenant, but they're invisible in the video. But that's what actually happened in the Bible. They had 7 trumpets that marched in front of the Ark of the Covenant, and then all the Israelites followed. So, day 1, marching right around the city. Still marching. Here they come. So now day 1 is complete. And we're headed into day 2. And so now they will march around the city again just one time, just as the Lord had commanded them. Here they come, right around the city again. Day 2 is complete. Now we are headed into day 3. Again, they just keep on marching. Yep, looks like they marched even faster this time. Day 3 is complete. Oh, and we are headed into day 4. Day 4. Here they come again. Day 4 is complete. We are now headed into day 5. Yep, that's right, day number 5. And they will walk around the city just one time. Oh, one of the Israelites just wanted to pop in and say, hey, how's it going, Lego man? And day 5 is now complete. We are now headed into day 6. So remember, this is the last day that they have to walk around once. So after day 6 is complete, then it's day 7. God then commands the Israelites to walk around 7 times on day 7. And then on the 7th time, the priest then play the trumpets. And then all the Israelites will shout. And then God says that the walls will come crumbling down. So here you see Joshua just relaying that information to the Israelites. And here they go, marching around the city. 1. Now they're at 2. Now they're at 3. 4. Yep, they're just they're really fast marchers. 5. Now they're at 6. Now they're at 7. So they've marched around 7 times. So here come the trumpets are now blowing. The trumpets are blowing. The Israelites have shouted. All right, here comes the walls. The walls are starting to come. Oh, earthquake. Boom! There goes the walls. Oh, there came down. Oh, there goes the side ones. The Israelites have now come into the land.
Hey, Zach, how you doing?
Alvin, what are you doing here?
I'm just here to watch the story. Oh, the walls of Jericho come tumbling down. My favorite part.
Well, thanks for spoiling the story, Alvin. We hadn't got to that part yet.
I'm sorry, man.
Alvin, you can sit and watch as long as you just sit there and do nothing as I finish the story. No, Alvin. No, Alvin, don't do it. No, Alvin. Alvin, I worked very hard. No, Alvin. Alvin, that 1 whole month work gone. Right there, man.
I couldn't stop myself.
All right, Alvin. Thank you for destroying all of that. I think it's time for you to go. We'll catch you later. We'll catch you with the memory verse. But to finish the story, so after God took down all the walls with his mighty hand, the Israelites came in and took over the whole city of Jericho and destroyed it. So then all they had left to do was take the promised land. And so then the Israelites go and they take the promised land. And so just like God promised, over 40 years, the Israelites end up getting into the promised land. So let's look at our first takeaway that we have. Our first takeaway is that God brought down the walls of Jericho. So as you can see, with God's mighty hand and with his mighty strength, God was able to bring down all 4 walls of the city that was keeping the Israelites out. So it was with his mighty hand and with his mighty strength. And so the next takeaway, so how does this apply to us? We see that we can give our battles to God. So because of God's almighty strength, we don't have to fight our battles by ourselves. We can just give them to God. So we can let God fight our battles instead of us handling them ourselves. So if you're at school and there is a bully or someone picking on one of your friends, instead of picking back at them, you can go and say, hey, that wasn't nice, but I'll be praying for you and I'll be giving it to God. So instead of us trying to fight our own battles, we can give them to God.
Oh, hey, Zach. Sorry about your bat.
Oh, it's okay, Alvin. I've given it to God, and so I've forgiven you.
Oh, that's great news.
Well, it's great that you are here now, Alvin, because it's time for our memory verse. Our memory verse that we've been going over is Joshua 1:9, and it reads, "Here is what I'm commanding you to do. Be strong and brave. Do not be afraid. Do not lose hope. I am the Lord your God. I will be with you everywhere you go." And so as we've talked about throughout this whole series, we've seen that we can be strong and we can be brave because God is with us. And so a big takeaway that we have from that is that God keeps all his promises. From the first video, we saw that God promised the Israelites that they would be able to enter the promised land. Well, that took over 40 years, but God was able to deliver his promise. And so we see that God is a promise keeper. And God has a lot of promises for us, for me, for you, and for you, Alvin. For those of us who accept Jesus as our saviors, these promises all hold true. So God promises that he will never leave us, nor that he'll ever forsake us. God promises that he will be with us wherever we go. God promises that he will work out everything for our good. God also promises that we can have a hope and a future in eternal life through Christ Jesus. So now it's time to go through some discussion questions as a family and to discuss. The first question is, what obstacle was in the way of the Israelites? What were God's instructions to people about Jericho? What are battles or fears in your life that need to be handed over to God? What are some promises of God that you need to hold on to today? So now you can pause the video and discuss through that. We will get to the craft in a second, but first, another activity that you guys have an option as a family is to retell the story of the walls of Jericho coming down. So you just need to build some type of tower in a room or like a living room and build it nice and high, and then you will go around the tower 6 times quietly. Then on the 7th time, you will go around and then you'll shout and you'll all knock the tower down just like it was in the story. But now, it's craft time. So let's get into this craft. Today, we will be making a horn that you can, sort of like a trumpet that you can blow out of, which is what they used in the story. The Israelites used to shout and make the noise. So first, you're just going to want to color your outside. So I'm just going to be using blue and black ink, but you get those colors, make it nice, colorful. Alrighty, so now it's nice and colorful. You will now take it and flip it over so the color's on the outside. You will then take it and start to roll it up just like a horn. And you roll up the other side, just like that. And then you want to make it so it's nice and wide. Then you'll take a piece of tape and just put a piece there. And put up another piece there, really secure that thing. And then you got a nice little horn that you can blow through. Just like that. That was what the Israelites did to shout, and then when all the walls came down. I'll give you another one. Yikes. Until next time, Pathway kids. I'll catch you later.